So without further ado, I'm so excited to introduce our first speaker. We do something a little bit different here at Fuckup Nights. We never read out bios. We think that's pretty boring and you can just Google that. So instead, we have 3 fun facts about each speaker. So our first speaker is Sarah, and Sarah can't float, even though she's a decent swimmer. Sarah also has alopecia, and she cries watching sports documentaries. Sarah, come on up and share your fuck up.
Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah Mariano. And when I love something and I care about something so much, I put my all into it. And I'm terrified that I'm going to lose it. I'm scared. I'm in constant terror of losing everything I've built. Does that resonate with anyone? Yeah, I thought so. So let me just back it up. My name is Sarah Mariano. I'm also known as the Celebrity Stretch Therapist. On Instagram, I'm the Stretch Therapist. So I've built my business, I've built my reputation, my brand through social media. And this all happened in 2015, 2016, when Instagram was actually good, okay? When you could actually post something and your followers actually saw it. And so not only was I living that influencer high life, getting free shit, getting invited to cool things, I also got to meet and work with some of my heroes, with some celebrities and with some pro athletes. So I grew up as an athlete myself, and I always wanted to work with pro athletes. I grew up loving Vince Carter. Yeah? So I always wanted to work with him. I haven't worked with him yet. I think it's gonna happen though. But because I was able to build my business online, I got to attract some really, really cool people. I got to work with Drake. He's one of my clients. I see him every so often. That's a pretty cool shout out I got from him on Instagram. And during all of this, I was seeing all of these clients. I was stretching them all over the world. And I had a mentor that told me, why don't you create your own stretching system? And like many of you, I had imposter syndrome. And so it took 2 years for that seed to germinate and grow. And I finally had the courage, with the help of my team, some of my team is right here, they encouraged me to put something together. And they're like, you know what? If you don't like it, Sarah, we don't have to do it. Let's just see what happens. And luckily, when I posted about it, it received some really good feedback. And now it's something that we're doing worldwide, and I'm gonna get into that. So I developed this program, and I started posting about it more and more. And it caught the eye of one Russell Wilson. Does anyone know who this is? Yeah, it's like 3 of you. It's not the right crowd, is it? He was at the time the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks. I think he's a free agent now. What's happening with that? What? He's with the Steelers right now? Did you guys know that? You guys don't care, okay. So he poached me from Toronto, and I moved to Seattle and got to work with him for an entire year during the pandemic. So everything was great, I got to work with my pro athletes, I got to work with celebrities. I mean, there's a whole list of people I've gotten to work with. I got to work with Will Smith. So, and he's a huge hero of mine. I grew up watching Fresh Prince. He shaped my humor, and so I got to touch him for 2 hours, y'all. Okay, so I'm thinking, oh, life is great. The pandemic has been good to me. We put the course online, and we had all these international members that joined. And then things turned. Okay, so business was going really well, right? And this is like 2021. And I realized I couldn't work for Russ full time anymore. So I was like, I'm going to work on my business, focus on my business, and if I leave working for Russell Wilson, because he got me the visa to work in the United States, will this visa still be intact? And we, at the time, my COO and I, we were like, okay, I think you're good to go. We can't get a hold of their lawyer. Let's just quit because you're busy and your visa will still be intact. We didn't do our due diligence. So of course, oops. So of course, we get I think we get an email from the lawyer, Russ's lawyer, who says, since you've quit, you can no longer be in the United States. So I was building a life in San Diego at the time. So I had to leave everything, my furniture, my car, everything. And I literally had to book a flight and just go anywhere. They're like, you just need to leave the United States, which was really devastating for me because we were building courses in the United States and worldwide. So it was a home base for me. This is me teaching in Morocco. I don't know why I put this there. I thought it was really pretty. Okay, so what did I do? So one of the biggest fuck-ups that came from this was I had to lead, but we had a course scheduled in San Diego, sold out to 30 people who were flying in from all over the world to take this course and to see me, to be taught by me. So what did I do? I decided to have the course anyway with me not there. And do you think I told them? No. So I decided to not be completely explicit, and we sent a series of vague emails saying, like, here are your instructors, and didn't really explicitly say I wasn't going to be there. And needless to say, the members weren't happy. This is a picture of the course happening, and we call me in. Can you guys see? They call me in, and we think that suffices, and we think it's enough. They don't look happy, right? They don't look happy at all. So I call in first thing, and they say, the first thing I say is like, hey, surprise, like you're gonna have a great course. I'm not there. I'm so sorry. Blah, 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 you're gonna be good. And so I thought everything was going swimmingly. I didn't hear from them. I was back in Toronto. I didn't hear from my team. The weekend I thought was going swimmingly. People were posting on Instagram saying, oh, this is a great course. So I was feeling good, right? And the reason I have a picture of the toilet there is because the venue apparently was not up to code. Okay? So part of the fuck up is, actually, let me show you. Can you guys read that? I'm going to read that to you. So eventually, after the course ended, we got a series of emails from a lot of angry members. Here are some of the things they said. To be straightforward, I'm not satisfied with the level 1 training certification that I signed up and paid for. Lack of transparency in how it was handled, I'm very displeased. This is one of the nicer emails. Another one is, one of the major disappointments was the fact that it was not disclosed that Sarah was not going to be attending. I travel with the PGA and actually left during the middle of a major tournament in Maryland in order to fly out to San Diego. This course was a big investment for me. And the last one's my favorite. After all that, the worst disappointment was the course itself. As mentioned, it felt like it was thrown together last minute. Nothing was organized, streamlined, or put together well. The way the course was taught was very choppy and did not flow well, especially when you are trying to learn something from one instructor and another instructor shows the moves differently. To be completely honest, the material was not as expected. For the investment I made into the course, I expected to receive a lot more. So these were some of the emails I had to deal with all the way in Toronto. And to make matters worse, as I said, the bathroom broke down in the middle of the weekend. So the members had to go out and try and find their own bathrooms. Okay, the garbage wasn't being cleaned. It was just awful. And to make matters worse, we had 3 weeks until the course when I had to leave the United States, and I hired members and tried to train them through Zoom. Okay, and some of the feedback was that they felt like everything was thrown together, and some of the instructors didn't know what they were doing. Okay. So what ended up happening was I had to refund a lot of these members. Okay. I was not only out tens of thousands of dollars. It cost me my reputation and my mental health. I had to deal damage control for about 2 months after the fact, and I am deathly afraid of confrontation, Okay, I avoid it like the plague. My COO at the time, she thrives on that shit. So normally she would be handling these cases and these calls, but because I couldn't afford her anymore, I had to let her go. And guess who had to do all of these Zoom calls with angry people from all over the world? Me. So I had to write a script out. But through the whole process, even though I couldn't sleep and I thought I was gonna have a heart attack, like I realized I was actually really good at conflict resolution. So that was one of the biggest lessons for me. Yeah, it sucked. Even thinking about it and like pulling up some of those emails stung. Like I had to see my therapist every week. I had to talk to all my spiritual friends just to get by and not have a heart attack. Okay, how am I good for time, Marcia? I'm good? Okay. Okay, so where is the business at now? How did we rebuild? Okay, this took a long time. I'm still in the process of rebuilding. So I had to not only give a lot of refunds, I had to promise a lot of free course spots to future courses. I had to move our other American courses that we had scheduled that people booked to different parts of the world. So I had to move one of our courses to Mexico. And I mean, luckily it turned out really well, but we lost a lot of people. I had to give more refunds. Okay, so I really don't know if I'm conveying the devastation that I went through. Am I? Okay, good. But it was enough to almost make me want to give up, right? I don't know how I kept going. I think it's because I don't have any other skill sets valuable in the society. So I realized I better keep going. Okay, so where are we at now? Luckily, we're still trucking along. You know, I'm still in the thick of it right now. We're going through a downturn with this current economic climate, so it's been really hard. I've had to work 3 times as hard just to keep the business afloat, and trying to expand it internationally has been a real challenge. I had like 3 anxiety attacks before this talk because of it. But, you know, it's still going fairly well. We had our first course in LA last year, which is a huge dream come true for me. Oh, thank you. We're having our next course in New York City, Manhattan, which is another big deal for me soon. And we continually have our courses in San Diego, Toronto. We've had courses in like Austin, Texas, where else? DC, Mexico, and we're bringing it to South Korea and maybe the Middle East and the UK and Atlanta and all these places. So what happened when I had this major fuck up? Okay, this was a milestone for me. It forced me to leave my home. I didn't feel like I wanted to stay in Toronto because it's freaking cold. And I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna be a nomad. This is my chance. So it forced me into doing something I've always wanted to do. Just like I wanted to work with pro athletes all my life, I always wanted to be a nomad. And so now I don't have a place of address. I am literally flitting around. I went to the Middle East to see what the market was like there. Could I bring this performance stretch system to the Middle East? And that was pretty fruitful. And then now we have an instructor in South Korea. So it has led me to a different path than I expected. Still hard, but at least in my personal life, I feel a little bit more aligned. Okay. Oops, go back. I think I had one more thing to say. Oh, yes. I wanted to leave this with you. So when you grow a business and you're building a business, you're going to have a lot of ups and downs, ebbs and flows. That's obvious, right? But what's going to happen is you're going to be triggered. Your insecurities are going to be triggered hard, okay? And so it's really what you decide to do. Are you going to let it hinder you and stop you and let the fear overcome? Because I could have done that. I could have just closed up shop. Or are you going to let it allow you to learn from it, take lessons, and maybe turn it into something even better? So now I'm fueled by my insecurity that it's going to happen again, and people are going to be disappointed. I'm going to let everyone down. So it made us create the course even better. We work on it more and more and more. So I hope that helps. And it's a great piece of advice. I don't know how to end this, so I'm just going to say thank you very much.
stay up for Q&A? Yeah. Okay. We're just gonna go to your Q&A slide. Sarah, thank you so much for sharing your story. Really crazy fuck up that happened, but you found your way out of it, and I think you've built a really great community out of it as well as just being a lot more authentic and then more open with your customers now. So congrats on where you're at now, and yeah, keep building, keep fucking up, and keep learning. So we're gonna open it up for some Q&A now.